What does separation anxiety and cabochons have in common? Well, let me tell you. It was around about 4.5 years ago when I was dropping my daughter off to childcare. She handed me a pebble and she gave it to me and said, "That's for you, Dad." And I brought it into my workshop, and at that time, dropping her off was a tough thing to do. Yeah, she didn't like it, I didn't like it. It's part of life. But I turned it into a tiny little cabochon in the workshop. And it's 4.5 years later, and now I have a professional standard cabochon creating machine that I didn't have back then. So join me as I turn another pebble into a different cabochon that I can show her and maybe give to her. It's a grey stone with a white panel on top of it. I am yet to learn what the different types of stone are. I think there's a little bit of a fossil inside this as well, and there's some lighter patches or veining through this area. So I'm trying to look at this and figure out what would be a good orientation to start with a base and where to start with the top. Do I want to catch a little bit of this white as the top? I'm not sure. I think I'm going to grind a little bit of a flat off here, and it's going to be a free-form cab. I'm going to let the shape just develop. So now the machine is on, I'm going to turn on some water, and I am using the 80 grit diamond sintered wheel. So we've got the base with a bit of a flat surface. It may not be the final flat surface, but it's a start. And now I'm going to use that to kind of give me an idea on where the outside profile is. Yeah, the machine itself is the 8-inch version of the CabKing. It's got a 3/4 horsepower motor, and it has 6 different grit wheels on it at the moment. 2 diamond sintered and 4 resin wheels. So when I'm cutting, it's important that from the base there's a slight inward angle. So when I come to set this in a piece of silver maybe, that the top is narrower than the base, so we can trap it in the setting, in the cabochon setting. So next up is probably my favorite wheel. It is the 220 diamond sintered wheel. It allows me to get a nice smooth finish in the roughing stage, but also it's just not as coarse, it's smoother. You'll hear the difference even as soon as I start pushing the stone against it. So the difference between the 80 grit and the 220 is substantial. Yeah, it's a good lesson to learn early. Don't touch the corners of the wheel beside you with your knuckles. Did it again. Okay, so here's what we're working with at the moment. We've got a nice grey band around the sides, and we've got that white panel on top. It's all quite faceted at the moment. The laser sintered wheel, or the diamond sintered wheels, they are really good at roughing. The resin wheels are on more of a spongy wheel, so it allows you to push in and it conforms to curves and shapes a bit better, and will take out all those facets a little bit easier. But yeah, I think all I want to do now is take off the sharp corner on the bottom so we don't get any chipping or crack or kind of broken bits off the bottom angle. So we'll just do just a little bit, especially around that tip. I'll move the light as well. The light is really important. I'm using it to also see the facets, or when the water is sitting on it, I can see where the flat spots, where the cuts are. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm going to pause, and as I've made the stone smaller, it's getting harder to hold, and I'm getting closer to skinning my knuckles off the ones beside it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dop it, and what I mean by that is I'm going to put it on a stick with some wax or a shellac. So I'm running out of dop sticks. I've really had a fun day yesterday, making lots of cabochons and half-made cabochons that are still on the dops that I have. So I need to get some more wooden dowels. For now, I'm going to improvise and use a pencil. So we're going to melt the dop and we're going to put it on it. It's just going to make it easier to maneuver around and get the shape that we want. So I'm going to place it on the side, the stone on the side of the dop station. That's going to warm the stone up, and I'm going to, yeah, the wax, the shellac, still needs a bit of time to melt. You'll see as well, I'm surrounded in a hectic workshop. This was the workshop where I learned all my woodworking at the very start, and where I learned to have fun with materials and just discover, experiment, reiterate, play with it, and learn to maintain tools as well. This workbench, my dad and myself would have taken motors apart and put them back together after a service, things like that. So yeah, it's kind of nice to be here experimenting with the CabKing while in my, we'll call it my childhood workshop. And I suppose it's kind of full circle because my daughter's outside the door playing with a bubble machine, and I'm in here, and she started me on this cabochon cutting journey. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Okay, so I'm going to bring you back in and we're going to get a good zoom on the melting wax. Now, I've discovered already it's really important to get the join between the stick and the stone as level as possible, because otherwise it'll just mislead me. So just tuck that wax in underneath. So you can see, yep, that's all stuck on. We'll let that solidify over a few minutes, and you can join me back at the wheels. Okay, so you can see with that dop stick slash pencil, I have a lot more movement, range of movement I can achieve. So just working all the facets down, running my finger over it to just, not to clean it, but just to feel are there any facet edges. And then using the light as well to throw shapes across it. Okay, so the tip, or the point, is getting a bit sharp. Having set cabochons before, I know this is going to be a weak point. So I'm just going to round that a little bit. Okay, so I think that's it for that wheel. We're going to switch to the other side and we're moving on to 600 grit. So the water is cycled through. There is a pond pump in a bucket and the water goes through, and I have it catching and settling in one, and then I decant the clean water back into the feed bucket. That way I'm not cycling the grit all the way through. I'm not 100% sure if that's the right way to do it. I was too excited to read the instruction book on putting it together. As I progressively work through the wheels, it gets harder and harder to remove facets. So it's about now I need to make sure they're all gone. It's all about moving with a bit of pace and just getting no flat spots. Right, on to 1200 grit. My wheels are still a bit noisy. As they get used a little bit, they'll get a bit smoother. They'll still have the same grit quality, it's just they're fresh wheels. Okay, so that's coming up really quite sweet. Yep. So, next wheel. That's me taking it up to 3000 grit. Really nice shine on that so far. So what I'm going to do next is pop that into the freezer. What that's going to do is allow me to snap it off the dopstick, and we'll be able to maybe just clean up the back just a little bit. Nobody will see it probably, but I'll know it's there. Okay, join me at the freezer. In next to the ice creams. Leave it 5 minutes. So now I'm just using the end lap. It's 320 grit, and that's just going to clean the bottom. And there we have it. So, from the stone that my daughter gave me to another one that I found in the yard, there's not much difference. I managed to do it pretty good. I was limited to just round when I was doing it in the workshop. But yeah, this is the start of a long, long process. I'm going to be learning piece by piece how to cut cabochons. So there we go. That is that cabochon finished. A nice freeform pear shape with a kind of a grey and white colour. I think it's a limestone, judging by the bits of fossil that are in there as well. Kind of interesting. Not everybody's cup of tea, but for me it's perfect for learning how to work this machine. I'm going to be learning video by video, piece by piece, and I'm going to take you along and show you my journey as I learn to make cabochons, and then in turn set them into pieces of jewellery. Okay, see y'all, bye.